These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. A quarter after midnight, and I'm watching the wall. Sometimes I feel so uptight, I just can't sleep at all. Every day doing the same old thing, we're losing time. The weekend comes, we gotta have some fun and rewind.
Howdy, can you hear me?
We're in pre-stream mode.
These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. I feel the rope tightening, choking off our air. We need to grab some lightning. Friday's almost here. Caught in a web, we need to cut this thread. We're hanging by. Where is it said you have to be half dead to survive? These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder.
Alrighty then. Just so you know, Edwin, we are live right now on YouTube. So thanks for showing up. I wasn't certain you were going to make it, so I was preparing to do an alternative show.
Yes, I squeezed in there. I actually had the time zone off a little bit.
Sorry
I'm a
about
little
that.
bit across the world.
That's all right. We are just sitting here. I just want to do a couple of quick checks before we take it to the live show, and we'll hang on to you after to explain all the stuff I usually explain in the 5-10 minutes before we go live with the stream.
Sure.
All right. If you could just give me a couple of talking points to make sure the audio is working from your end.
Sure, yeah. Talking points. So I've just recently launched my first plugin for WordPress. I've been doing some WordPress development for a few
Excellent. That
few
looks great.
years now.
All right. That's great. We're going to get more into that when we dive into this interview with you, as we dig into all the bits and pieces that are occurring and what we're going to be looking at here. Yeah, according to my double checker out there in the world, we've got good audio. So we are good. Let's get this show on the road.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WordPress plugins A to Z, not Z.
It's interview 79, and today we sit down with Edwin Daniels, a seasoned WordPress contributor who helped power LearnDash and the events calendar, now launching Flux Media Optimizer and an upcoming suite of AI plugins and more, all coming up next on WP Plugins A to Z. WordPress, the king of content management systems, powering the web with over 80,000 plugins to choose from. How do you sort the junk from the gems? Welcome to WP Plugins A to Z, where we've been keeping the pulse of WordPress alive for over 16 incredible years. Join us every week for an unrehearsed, Real talk breakdowns of the latest and greatest plugins, developer and community member interviews. Some weeks, Amber and I team up to dig in. Others, I'm flying solo, unpacking WordPress news, demoing a standout plugin, or sharing tips to power up your site. No scripts, no fluff, just the good stuff from A to Z. So plug in and let's get rolling. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be hiding out there on the globe today. Coming to you direct from the brewery overlooking beautiful southern Vancouver Island. Welcome to the WP Plugins A to Z interview show, where we dive into the world of WordPress with innovators that are pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Welcome to interview 78 on WP Plugins, the longest running WordPress plugins podcast, where we're going to be talking to brilliant mind today. We are diving in with Edwin Daniels, a full stack veteran with over 16 years of dev experience, the last 5 deeply immersed in WordPress, including key contributions to powerhouse plugins like LearnDash, the events calendar, fresh off launching his first independent plugin, Flux Media Optimizer. Edwin is now building an exciting suite of AI-powered tools. We'll explore his journey from maintainer to creator, the magic and the challenges of media optimizations in 2026, and his bold vision for how AI is about to transform WordPress and tech forever. So welcome to the show, Edwin.
Thanks for having me, John.
Oh,
Pleasure
well,
to be here.
I'm happy to have you here on the show. That's why I didn't have to try and craft something together on a very short order, but let's get started here. Let's do a little bit of background on you so that the listeners out there can know who we're talking to. You've got 16 years of full stack development. How did your early years with PHP, React, LAMP, how did they prepare you for working and deep dive into WordPress specialization over the last 5 years?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, like a lot of people, I kind of got into development to play around, to just make my own thing. And I got lucky enough to start my career at a place where I could really learn how to do everything full stack. They kind of gave you keys to the castle, but this was before Git was really a thing. SVN was the main thing and GitHub wasn't a thing. And so it was way back there. So you kind of had to really spend time in the trenches to learn how everything works, from, writing your own SQL queries to managing a database to
Right.
all that stuff.
Stuff that I barely touched, but I did touch it. Not real heavily, though.
Yeah. I mean, WordPress makes it a lot easier too. So, you have a suite of tools and there's a huge community. So it makes it a lot easier with the WordPress environment. But my first jump in was everything was custom. No library, no GitHub repositories to do database queries, no Eloquent, no nothing, so you were really kind of learning everything under the hood that, would power WordPress. So it helped me a lot. Yeah.
Well, that's excellent. And what drew you from doing your full stack devs on everything to diving into WordPress itself, especially since you dove into plugin theme development? We'll talk a bit about that. And how have you seen the WordPress ecosystem evolve in all the ways it's changed in the last 16 years? Like, I've been playing with WordPress myself for 16 years. Previous to that, I did a lot of hand-coded HTML and shoving PHP in strange places.
That's a nice way to put it.
Well, it was a weird time. And when I discovered WordPress, I went, wait, that's all the stuff I was doing before, but it's all in one place.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I think like probably a lot of devs that have been out there for a while, you'll find yourself reinventing the wheel, maybe, if you're that type of person who likes to build things yourself. So I mean, WordPress was around, and of course it was I knew about it, but I got it, I fell, I got bit by that bug where I wanted to build everything myself. So I even built CMSs by myself.
Wow.
You know, try
Ow.
it. Yeah. Oh, sure. I built a lot of things, a lot of failed little projects, and at some point I was like, this all the time I'm spending building these things when I could just, add a plugin or modify a theme, when I could, work with a client and tell them you probably should just install WordPress
Yeah.
instead of having me build the thing from scratch because I'm going to charge you, you know, for 10 times the effort of just installing a WordPress, but I could still help you with that.
Yeah.
So at some point, I realized that and started, kind of just embraced the tools that are out there and didn't look to find an excuse to build everything from scratch.
Well, it
Um,
definitely saves time when you use all the tools that are available. So,
yeah,
in the 5 years you've been working, what have you found exciting with the way the WordPress ecosystem has evolved? Because it has evolved a lot in the last 5 years.
yeah, it definitely has. And I have dabbled with WordPress for a bit longer than that, but really, really full time WordPress development has, yeah, it's been the last 5 years or so. But even in that time, one of the things I really appreciated that they're embracing some of the more modern libraries, modern tools like React.
Hmm.
You know, for a while, you know, I used jQuery from the early days, and then I started using Dojo, and then when React came out, I jumped on that. I was always trying to use some of the newer libraries like Laravel, and then React came about, and I was using that in, you know, before a V1, and I really liked that. So this was before, of course, it took a while for WordPress to grab hold of that, and they're starting to really embrace it. The WP scripts builder and all that stuff is really, the Gutenberg library. Everything is really starting to embrace some of this more modern approach, more of a headless approach to interfaces, which is great to see. I hope to see it eventually completely take over the admin, but time will tell there.
The admin area has been a complaint for years.
Sure.
So you've been the last while you were working at Liquid Web. You maintained and added features to both LearnDash, the events calendars. The events calendar is something I used for several years. LearnDash I have yet to use in any shape and form. Can you talk about any standout features or challenges you had when you were working on each of those?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean,
And
I'll
what?
tell you one.
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah. Like, I think it's a common one that plugin developers run into. What people tend to do is, which is, a good and bad, to just build a custom post type, right? And put your data in there. And the events calendar did that as well.
Yeah.
At some point, as you can imagine, doing more complex queries, um, especially doing dates that have various, di- recurring settings and, skipping days of the week and all kinds of things. Those queries can get pretty rough using the built-in, uh, database structure. So I helped us migrate away from some of that to some custom tables for the date uh, portion, the date management,
Yep.
which really optimized a lot of those features. Um, so that was one thing that's kind of it's a tough one because if you don't see where you're going ahead of time, it can be really tough to migrate data. Database migration is a tough thing to handle.
Yeah.
Um, which we had a great team at the events calendar, really smart people. So it actually went better than even I anticipated when we did do that. But
Yeah.
that was one of the trials
I remember. I
working there.
remember. I remember going from the old way and when they migrated the data tables.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I went through that with. I think I was running 3 websites at the time that were using the events calendar, and that migration broke 2 of them. So
Oh no. Oh no.
I managed to get it working eventually, but it was a bit of a challenge. It was just
Well,
the
I'm sorry about that.
well, it happens when I've had several plugins over the years do that. That they finally realized a better way to manage their data than just inside the custom post type meta, and they went to
Yeah.
their own separate tables in the database. And every time there's always a glitch.
Yeah. It's rough.
You can't anticipate because of WordPress and the fact that you can throw 150 plugins in there and still have it working. You can't anticipate how your plugin's going to react against the other 120 that are in there.
Sure. Yep. Yep.
Or
For sure.
that's an extreme one, but even just having one other, sometimes you don't know what the plugin configurations people are going to use for their sites to
Oh yeah.
do the different
Yeah.
things.
Oh yeah. There's all kinds of computational, permutational variations. Sometimes you'll get people that played with their own database tables. Sometimes you get ones that are just some quirky orphans that you never expected. Orphan database entries, maybe something timed out, and
Yeah.
you know, when we were dealing with that migration, which we supported for a long time. I honestly I don't know how much support there is for it still, but there was a number of tickets that I helped look at
Hmm.
uh, that were really like surprised me. I was surprised by the problems that were showing up. And I even asked the team on some, was like, did we ever have a database like this? Because, you know, some of the database structure was stuff we didn't even like, people were scratching their head. Like, I don't even remember that. That doesn't seem like anything we had.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it's an old plugin too. So it's been
Oh,
around a while.
the events calendar I was using for quite a few years. I think I found them like 3 or 4 years when they first started creating it, and it was really good for a while. Then they did something to screw it up, so I quit using it, and then they fixed it, and it all came back again.
Yep. Yep. That's how it goes.
Yeah, but that's how it goes. So I've had that happen with several plugins and over the years. So
Sure.
during your contributions for release notes, engineering work, especially to the events calendar, how does that maintaining a mature, widely used plugin like that differ from building something new like you've just done?
Oh, sure. I mean, for one, I don't have QA.
QA.
So yeah, quality assurance.
Oh,
No
quality
testing going.
quality. Okay.
Yeah, they have a whole team there that kind of helps guardrail you from doing something stupid. So you kind of have to be a bit more like pushing that button. Like I think this is good. You think twice about, but um, beyond that, they have a number of processes that are um, really good and ingrained, like build scripts and build systems that have been vetted and used for a long time. Um, you know, on a number of um, you know, actions, I should say,
Hmm.
that help validate that things are working well. One of the awesome things they have there, which great developer Luca uh, Luca created, or at least helped create. I think he's the main maintainer of it. Is a WordPress testing suite.
Yeah.
So they had access to the creator of that, and we would automate some of it. So, you know, you could have that automation, a suite of tests, and all of that really helped. But maybe one of the downsides, you could say that about most things, but of a legacy library like that, it's hard to move. It's really hard to move quickly.
Yeah.
You know, you have, you know, over 10 years of code potentially, and making changes and refactoring can, you have to be careful because, you know, who knows how somebody's integrated. It's an old plugin. Maybe some people have some interesting integrations, and you have to be very careful about making it better, because you'll end up breaking something. So that's one of the benefits of, you know, working on your own fresh, you know, something fresh, and no one's, you know, no legacy system that you have to maintain. It makes it a lot easier to go quick there, and make fixes pretty quick as well.
I'm having a weird glitch here. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
Can you
good.
hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. I kept
Okay,
having a weird glitch, and I was trying to figure out what the glitch was.
no worries.
It happens sometimes while I'm trying to do things. So, at any rate, sorry, I got sidetracked there and brain sidetracked. So let's move to a slightly different area here. Now, let's talk about Flux Media Optimization. Go away.
Mm.
Flux Media Optimization and what this plugin is. You launched it about a month ago. What
Mm.
sparked your idea for this? When I took a look at it and what you've got there, it looks like another media optimization plugin, one of many that are out there. This will be the third new one I've seen in the last several months. So, what brought you to creating this plugin?
I guess I'll be honest. Two things, and both of which probably weren't the best reasons. One is I was looking out there to kind of see what was being done in the media space in optimizations, and
Hmm.
I've had a number of projects where I've done some of that work, and I always noticed some features that weren't there that I liked, and uh, some features that I figured I could add. Um, I thought maybe I could niche in there with some of those kind of missing features or not very easy to find features. So, for example, some of them don't do anything with video. This handles video as well. Um, some of my goals are a little optimistic. I'm looking at optimizing any kind of media there, assuming it's what the community wants, but even looking at PDFs, potentially having it help zip files if people want something like that. Maybe even doing some uh, streaming, video streaming. So breaking it up into a streamed format for videos. Something that kind of just encompasses media optimization across the board. So it's a more of a one-click powerhouse. And then the other reason is I really enjoyed working on image manipulation, I guess. You know, the image files, tweaking them and doing various optimizations and having systems that can automate that. That was always fun to me. Um, Releasing it, I've realized that, as you said, it is a very saturated market. I already knew that, but it is definitely struggling to get any kind of foothold
Yeah.
because of that. And part of that's a learning process. You know, I'm realizing how the WordPress ecosystem works for rankings on searches and stuff like that. So it's really hard for this to even show up right now
Yeah.
on any of the WordPress searches for the keywords.
That's always a big challenge there. I have my own viewpoints and opinions about the WordPress repo and how they offer things up from searches. My personal belief
Yeah,
is it's manipulated. Um,
who knows?
well, that's my personal belief of 16 years of sometimes searching for the exact name of the plugin and it shows up on page 6. And it's like,
Yeah,
that one should be number 1. It's the exact name of the plugin.
yeah, yeah. That
So,
is odd
and
for sure.
that happens way too often for it to be a coincidence to me. Now, you've launched this, you have a focus on this plugin of WebP, AVIF, video formats, hybrid local CDN processing on it. Now, you made a couple of key technical decisions like using local FFmpeg processing versus offloading it. Why was that?
Yeah, for the free version, I really wanted it to be like a one click, you get everything,
Hmm.
right? So, um, I didn't want people to have to pay to get a lot of features, a lot of bang for the buck, which is,
Right.
free.
Hmm.
So I was really trying to find what I could do. Unfortunately, I believe a lot of servers don't have much installed that would support
That was going to be
video.
my question. Was there's not a lot of servers, even my servers, like I run a hosting business. I only have 1 or 2 servers that I put FFmpeg on for very specific reasons, because it can be a very server intensive resource
Sure.
if people start using it a lot. That was,
Yeah.
and so something like that. It's like, I'm trying to think of the name of a recent one I just started using. This plugin only optimizes images, but it uses your local computer itself to optimize it in the browser before uploading it. It's a very interesting process. I'd like to get him on the show and interview him. Simex, if you send me an email and remind me, I'll send you a link to the plugin. It's one I reviewed on our show a while back. So I understand that part of it. When you're handling animated GIFs or bulk optimization without a server or a strain, you know, the brain. Don't mind my brain. I'm reading my notes and they're suddenly not making sense.
Yeah, all of that on their servers. The one thing that I was thinking too is because, you know, it's maybe more not a common thing, but for example, my buddy Micah, he does he does a lot of stuff, and he manages his own servers. He took a look at this and he started installing things like the FFmpeg MPEG libraries on his server. So I was like, at least it'll show compatibility, and if those power users want to, they always have that option.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's the option for the real power users, the ones that have access to their server level changes.
Yep.
Now, with your image optimization, what are you using for the image optimization? Because that wouldn't be FFmpeg usually, would it?
Yeah, that's correct. It's not. No, I have support for both GD and immersed. So both libraries.
And a lot of servers come with those.
Yes. Yeah. So most servers can handle at least the image optimizations. The one that is probably going to be more of a hit or miss is the animated GIFs, because you need specific library that can support that. As I recall, GD didn't support it.
I don't remember which one does.
Yeah, I forget too. You know, after being in the weeds so much, I forget some of the details. But the nice thing is that I really wanted it clear for the user. So the main page, the dashboard page, will just tell you everything it tells you even the versions, if it can detect it, of what you have installed, and tell you whether it supports, you know, WebP, animated GIF, video compression, all those things. Right off the bat, you know.
You know if the server is going to support it. Then that's a useful piece. It checks the server to see what's available. Okay. Now, this is your first plugin, I understand, that you popped up to WordPress.org. What surprised you most about the launch process, the support when getting it approved, getting reviews for it, or now that you're into marketing for the plugin? What sort of things really surprised you, or challenges that you're working to overcome in that area?
Yeah, no, it was definitely a learning experience. So for one, the plugin check plugin, it will catch a lot of things, right? The plugin that WordPress supports and hands out for people to check before they submit, you know, it'll give you a list of all the level of error and the type of error. And it catches a lot of things, but it won't catch everything that they'll have issue with in the process. So in the review process. So at some point, I think they have what it seems like to me, because I get every now and then I'll get an automated email, like it's a very pre-formatted review email, so it looks like a lot of it was automated, and then I'll get something that looks like somebody typed up and, you know, was just responding to. But it definitely looks like they have some tools in the back end, and there can be a lot of back and forth. So for this one, it took me almost a month, I want to say, maybe even longer, to between the back and forth. And some of it was, I feel like a bit of it was on their side. They were misreading some things because, of course, there's, you know, a long list of WordPress guidelines, and some of them are a little bit hard to understand and avoid. So because of the way my uh, the media optimizer works, it has a license, right, and it enables extra features. And
Right.
some of the wording I had made it sound like they were locking out certain features, and I even had some old comments in there in the code that, you know, weren't even relevant, but some old comments, and they were in the review process. It'll look at your comments and say, hey, you're trying to do something that goes against the guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely have to be careful of that.
That's
That hit
interesting.
me.
That's
Nice.
interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. I haven't tried to
Yeah.
submit any of my plugins to WordPress.org. Not that I can anymore. So,
It's a process.
well, I was banned from the community about 8 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So
I'm sure that's a story.
it's all written up on the WP plugins A to Z website. I wrote all the email threads and why they opted to toss me out while I was trying to do something. And it's like, okay, I don't feel I was justified, but still. So let's dive into your AI stuff and what you're planning, because AI, of course, is now. It's no longer the future. It's now. And it's moving along at incredible paces. I use it a lot. What it's allowed me to do this last year is to actually write plugins. I could always do code, but I could never do the plugins because my typing skills suck. And when you've got 300, 400, 500,000 lines of code, you make one mistake and the whole thing's fried. And
Yeah.
so now I got AI to help me write the code. I can read it
Yeah.
and figure out where it screwed up, but I get it written. That's how I've managed to, I think I released 5 plugins this year over on my GitHub.
Oh, wow.
So you're building a suite of AI focused plugins. What is your vision for these AI focused plugins? You go off your website now, you have the Flux AI Media Alt Creator and the Flux AI Media Alt Creator Pro listed there, but you just have a coming soon page for them. Now, your alt media one, the media alt creator, I assume that's the alt tag for media, or
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
I keep promoting. A buddy of mine wrote something similar to this one. He calls it WP Descriptor, and you might want to look that one up on WordPress.org. He's got it posted there, and it gives a full, not just the alt tag, but a full description and the caption and everything else,
Right.
with some really interesting functions. So tell us about, why are you going down and chasing these areas, and what sort of excites you about them?
Yeah, I mean, AI is crazy for sure. I've been embracing it. And of course, I'm using it for code as well. Sometimes we get in a boxing match, me and the AI.
Yeah.
But you'd be silly not to use it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and you know, to me, it's less of a, you know, I don't want to. I've always avoided the buzzwords, like jumping on the buzzword bandwagons, but I mean, it is pretty powerful. There's a lot of things you can do. Almost anything you can think of, you can do. So, and I did see, you know, I think I might even see WP Descriptor. What was that? Yeah, I might have seen that when I did a review of some of the other ones, and there is some competition there. It's this one right now. I have planned to do to launch it with just the alt tag. Keep it simple. And I actually submitted this one about 2 weeks ago, so I'm in the review process for that one.
Okay.
And the point of that one is really, again, I'm trying to tick all the boxes that you may want in that type of tool, right? So alt is just one of them. Of course, you mentioned 2 of the other big ones. File name is another one, which I'm going to look at doing. And really, you know, the idea for me with all of these plugins that I'm looking at is to make it like AI can make things so simple. So I want it to be like you plug it in, you just install it, and maybe you have to configure some things for personal preferences,
Hmm.
and then you just turn it on and then forget about it.
Yep.
So the point of these two is that it will automate setting all of those things. You upload images,
Yeah.
you don't even have to worry about it. You can go in and edit it if you want. It'll actually do a preview for you. So if you're manually doing
Hmm.
the alt or the alt attribute generation, um, it'll go out, pull the alt information, and then show you a preview, and you can edit it, and then just hit apply, and it's done. If you turn on the automation, of course, it'll just do everything. And I mean, that's the whole point of the automation. So you don't have to worry about it. Um, and really, there's just so many things that you can do with the AI.
Oh yeah.
The limit is your creativity.
Well,
So that's really it right now.
to stick a couple of things in your mind on things that while you're building or expanding out this plugin, especially towards your pro version, what Descriptor does for you is it gives you in a setup the admin box for it. You give a good description of what your website is about, and it uses that as a basis for every image. And on every image, he's also added recently a small text area where you can give a specific description about the image that's being uploaded so it can refine the output even further. So
Yeah, that's a great idea.
so there's some ideas for you to help expand it out and see if it can work for you. Now, let's dive a little more into AI and how do you see AI transforming the web technology and WordPress specifically in ideas of opportunities for plugin devs, core web vital improvements, content site building, or potential pitfalls such as privacy compatibility?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, so I would say any problem that you have to face, you can phrase it in a way that you hand off to AI to kind of solve for you. I really see it. For example, one of the things I have on the Media Optimizer, um, compression is kind of a hard thing to get right. You compress too much, it gets pixelated. You don't
Mhm.
compress enough, you have a big file.
Yeah.
Well, with AI, you could actually give it an image and say, find the sweet spot,
Hmm.
right? You can build your system to kind of iterate and find the sweet spot and get the best compression you can imagine. That's one of the features I hope to add to Media Optimizer at some point.
That is a really good feature for it
Yeah,
because then you can
and
put,
yeah, I mean, that's one of the things with WordPress and AI. A lot of people talk about AI kind of just taking over. I work with some clients, they'll send me emails all the time of, oh, look at this AI tool, look at this AI tool. And it's to build a website, to build an app,
Mhm.
right? You just like the Lovable and all those different ones, Claude Code. And
Yeah.
they see how easy it is, and they want to jump on that,
Right.
which isn't a bad thing to consider, right? But the reality of it is often some of these, um, it's again reinventing the wheel, right?
Mhm.
So you'll have an idea for a project, and you tell it one of these AI prompts to go build it, and it will, but it'll be maybe not quite what you imagined,
Mhm.
right? And it might be a bit brittle, right? And WordPress has a whole suite of plugins that are battle tested for every feature you can ever imagine.
Right.
So putting AI behind the already existing environment there is gonna, I feel like it's gonna really empower WordPress, and you're not gonna run away completely from WordPress to some of these AI site generators. I think it'll take a long time before we're at that point where you just tell AI to build a website and you're not using something like a WordPress to help power it.
Yeah.
So
All
really
I
where I see it.
all I see for those AI website builders is something that builds out HTML code. and flat pages for everyone, and they're very useless for people who constantly update and change their text or add regular posts and content. That's my that's my observation at this point. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. So that's one reason why I don't think WordPress is going anywhere soon. And there's also lots of other reasons. There is a great article I found on X the other day. I should have saved it. He wrote, when he's doing some research of why WordPress is dominating and will continue to dominate for a while, and he compared every other building stuff out there. It's very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've even seen some people putting ads out there. I have my site created on Base 44 is one of those AI site builders, and they're asking for a developer to finish it.
Well, you know, give them a high bid and see if they get it, if they go for it.
Right.
You never know. If it's something you're interested in, bid it high enough to where, well, I don't care, but I would like to, but I want to have X amount up here, and so I can actually focus on it. That's one of the biggest keys I finally realized in my development world is if I bid high enough and they accept it, I will actually do a better job, because now I don't feel like I'm trying to scramble to get the next job.
Yeah, I struggled with that when I was doing a lot of freelance work. I really struggled pricing myself. I'm not good at it.
That's the thing. I've been doing freelance now for over 25 years, and for like the first 15, I struggled with my pricing, and I didn't get it right for a long time. And only in the last 5 have I truly gotten it right, where I'm actually getting what I'm worth, and the projects are not suffering because I suddenly hit the cap of what they're spending, and now I'm running short of funds to pay my bills.
Sure. Yeah, and then the other part of it is, of course, I don't know about you, but I think, you know, they give me a project and, you know, there's a bullet list of all the things. I'm like, oh, that's easy. That's not that hard. That's about 3 hours. That's about 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And then lo and behold, I didn't really anticipate the scope. So I run into that a lot.
That's why I quit charging by the project, and I bill strictly by the hour. I give them an estimated range of hours, but I say it could go more, could be less. I have no idea what I'm going to find once I get in there. Could be all kinds of things, and it's usually what happens. Most of the time these days, I hit usually at just under the top end of my estimated hours. Occasionally, I come in just above my minimum hour estimate, but
that's good. At least you're hitting that range.
I'm hitting that range, so they're not overly surprised.
Yeah. Yep.
And also because there's some really great time tracker plugins out there now, especially for WordPress websites. ClickTalk is the best. Every WordPress website you get ClickTalker, reminds you when you log in to track your time, and if you leave, it'll shut it off for you too.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
that's a good one for WordPress. I didn't even know that one was out there.
It's kind of new. He brought it out last year. Somewhere in middle of last year, I believe he introduced it. I was one of his first people to buy it and gave him great ideas, and he's improved it dramatically since then. So I keep pushing ClickTalk out there so he'll earn more money on it. Came from Dave, the friendly web guy over on X. That's where there's
ask for affiliate link.
What's that? Oh no, I don't care about I don't care about affiliate links. I really don't. Affiliate links are unimportant to me. I have 4 companies I use affiliate links for on our regular show, but affiliate links are unimportant for me. I want people to succeed is what I'm trying to do, and that's what this show is for. That's why I've improved my interviews to showcase people like yourself.
Appreciate it.
And
it's good for the community.
It's good for the WordPress community. I got re-excited. I was ready to leave it completely until AI showed me how I can actually make it fun again. And that's what I've done this last year. Because I was tired of it.
The production side of it?
Yeah. Oh, it's helped me with production amazingly. AI has taken a lot of my development time down below 50% of what it was.
Oh, that's, yeah. I gotta agree on that one.
Well, the hardest thing about AI is learning how to prompt it. once you get your
Yeah.
prompts, and then when you make sure you keep your prompts in a nice file somewhere where you can open up and go, okay, what was my prompt for this? And boom, it
Yeah.
produces everything that you've needed. And if you do the same things over and over again, it really helps there.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been using Cursor AI for a while, and there was
Yeah.
some like took me a little while to figure out some things, but putting in the context and all that stuff really helps a lot. For that's one of the difficult things with AI, aside from their hallucinations, which sometimes I don't know what they're thinking. They'll put functions in that don't even exist, and
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a little oddball. I use Grok for all of my stuff. That's right. That's right.
okay, I
I
was using it for a while.
Yeah, and to me, so far, the best Grok that wrote the best code was Grok 3. Grok 3 wrote the best
Oh,
code.
really?
And
Four's worse.
four does more hallucinations than Grok 3 did.
Mhm.
I've had 4 do. It's like, what did you throw this in there for? This is useless. And so I have an argument back and forth. It goes, oh yeah, you're right. It's like, of course I'm right. It's like,
Wow. Yeah.
it's really
Yeah.
it's
It's
really
funny. It's funny having those conversations when you'll tell it, oh, that code you gave me, you completely removed these 10 things that were there before.
Mhm.
Like, and they're like, oh, sorry, you're absolutely right. I did do that. I'm sorry. Let me fix it. And you scratch your head and you're like, how are these like, how is that the LLM behind there doing their thinking?
Yeah, it's a bizarre one. So one
Yeah.
last piece in this before we move on here. With your background in React, PHP, performance tools, what's one piece of advice for WordPress site owners or developers for prioritizing speed and modern web standards?
Oh, sure. I mean, obviously, I got to say, if you're looking to build a fast page, one of the big things is, of course, images, media.
Mhm.
That'll kill uh, that'll kill, of course, the bandwidth, but also some of the first print on the page and all those core web vitals that Google will use to rank you or not rank you. So that's a big one for sure. React, I love for backend. I think React is really the way to go to handle admin dashboards. Is when you're a user and you're in there all day, as you're selling something to a client or you're building something, um, you want something that's snappy, that's fast.
Right.
And building something like a single page app in the admin, which not a lot of plugins do, but I'm trying to do that as best as I can in the WordPress environment for the admin. To make it really a good experience for users. And I think that's one thing to do as well. Just rely on, um, the modern tools out there.
Mhm. Well, use the modern tools to the best of your ability and even learn how to use them better.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's close this out with a couple of things. What advice would you give aspiring WordPress plugin developers or those contributing to open source projects like LearnDash? What advice would you give them as to how they can approach it or what they might do to help with these projects or on their own plugins?
Yeah, sure. I mean, obviously we have a lot of content out there now. It's overwhelming. I would look to find maybe some channels if you want to really dig in and learn the details that have some short how-tos and short clips and really focus on learning the library under the hood.
Hmm.
When you get to a point, or maybe you don't even want to spend the time there, AI can speed you through it a lot.
Hmm.
Grok is a good one.
Yep.
I started playing with Gemini as well, and of course ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that one.
Yep.
They can really help you kind of um, uh, investigate your code and also help you improve by just going through it. So that's a big use there. But then of course, if you're looking to add a plugin to the repository, you should look at the guidelines.
Yeah.
Definitely scan through that. because that one will get you stuck in a endless cycle if you don't get that right, where you could get denied, and
Mhm.
you may have to go through a whole process to get back into the submission process. So read that on the WordPress.org sites.
Okay. And another little piece that I want to bring up about the AI is for those that have to fix their clients' broken websites or they find a glitch that didn't exist, AI can help you do that diagnostics a lot faster.
Mm.
I used it, and prime example, I used it this morning to find a plugin conflict that I couldn't figure out on a client's website. It just wasn't making sense. And after throwing the errors and the other bits and pieces, the AI gave me a good long list of things it could be. And then I noticed wait a minute, that one looks like it's a problem. Go and check it. And sure enough, that was the problem. So,
Yeah, no, that's a great point. They just released something, Cursor AI, which I'll give them a shout out again. They just released a debugging mode,
oh, that's
which is pretty
interesting.
cool. Yeah. So what that one does, you change the type of prompt you're doing, and they have different modes. The debugger mode will actually put, um, depending on the excuse me,
It's all right.
depending on the type of bug you have, it'll put different ways of logging. It can actually open a web stream,
Mhm.
and it will stream itself the logs. So it'll put logging in there to help it narrow down the actual bug. So
Nice.
it does a lot of the troubleshooting for you on really hard ones.
Excellent. Well, that's a good to know. All right. It's at this point here, you get to tell listeners where they can find you. And all these links to the stuff will be in the show notes. So for those of you that want to come wander back and look at the show notes, and yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, appreciate it. I'm on fluxplugins.com. That's my site. And of course, I have a Twitter that I'm trying to get some mostly just WordPress tips and some memes out on.
I couldn't
I'm having
find you
some
on
fun.
Twitter. You need a link off your website to it.
Yeah, I haven't put it there yet, but
Yeah.
it's Flux Plugins as well.
Okay.
That's a good note. I'll put it on my site.
Yeah,
This
I
week.
went looking to be able to tag you in all my tweets today. So, but I couldn't find you.
Oh wow. Sorry, but yeah. Or Eddie at fluxplugins.com. You can email me anytime. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
All right. Well, that's all we've got, folks. Hang around, Edwin, and I will be right back to you after we hit the show closer here.
Thanks, John.
Reminders for the show. All the show notes can be found at wpplugins.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the newsletter for more useful information delivered directly to your inbox. WP Plugins A to Z is a show that offers honest and unbiased reviews of plugins created by you, the developers, because you support the show. Help keep the show honest and unbiased by going to wpplugins.com/donate and set the donation level that fits your budget. Help us make the show better for you by subscribing and reviewing the show through your favorite podcast app. You can also watch the show live on YouTube at WP Plugins A to Z. And remember to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications of all new videos. You can also follow the show on X at WP Plugins A to Z. John can be reached directly through the website wpproatoz.com or email him at john@wppro.ca. Amber can also be contacted through the website at wpproatoz.com or email her directly, amber@wppro.ca. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
All righty, folks. That's all we've got. We're going to let this one go.